Hi everyone, Natasha here, and around my home today we are on the front porch. So welcome to my front porch, and today is Saturday. It's supposed to rain a little bit later today, so I'm out here just trying to get a few spring tasks done in the front yard or front garden. I'm from the Midwest, and I guess I say yard instead of garden, but garden sure does sound nicer. Anyway, I by no means know what I'm doing when it comes to plants. I would love to have a beautiful, flourishing landscape around our home. And there was one when we bought the house. The people that lived here before, the lady had a wonderful green thumb, and she's planted all kinds of different things. And over the years of living here, all I've done is try to not kill things. Some things have made it, some things haven't. So I'm trying to work on learning more about the plants I have and how to take care of them, and improving our landscaping a little bit more if I can. Again, I don't know what I'm doing, so it's always just sort of me trying to figure it out. So I've been watching some videos on YouTube, and that has helped a lot. So one of the channels I'm really getting into and enjoying is a channel called Garden Answer, and I'll link them down below. And then also P. Allen Smith, which I have seen his shows on PBS and all that over the years. Can you say good morning?
Good morning.
He has a nice YouTube channel with lots of good videos too. So in watching some of their videos, I've been able to at least identify some of the plants that I have, which is a great start. I knew I had some peonies and hydrangeas. I wasn't sure what kind. The peonies I'm still, well, I think I know roughly what kind I have anyway, what kind of blooms they are. And the hydrangeas I've had, when we first bought the house, I think even when we looked at it, because we looked at it over the summer, there was one particular hydrangea bush I knew, I just loved because it had the beautiful purple blooms on it. Well, it's never bloomed since we've owned the house, so obviously we don't know what we're doing with it. Finally last year I got it to bloom. I had one pretty good sized bloom on it, and it was white turning pink to purple, which was exciting. And what I did differently last year is I finally did some fertilizing. So again, it's just like with cooking. I only have patience for so much. This is helping me understand, the importance of fertilizing now that I see that's what helps the plant bloom. But anyway, so today what I'm doing is I'm just going to clean up some things. I'll show you a little bit how the garden looks now. So let me turn the camera around and we'll see what we've got. All right, so here we have our front door with Miss Adelina raring to go, and it kind of steps off into the sidewalk. Anyway, coming off the porch, we have a nice little collection of, these are daffodils, and there were a few hyacinths. And when we got that snow last weekend, I came out here and clipped a bunch of those, and we've had a nice little bouquet in the house, which we've enjoyed in the kitchen. Okay, so right here, so this, when we bought the house, was a beautiful, lush, full blooming, I believe they're called, let me think of it, wedding veil? I'm not even sure if that's right, but they get like little tiny white blooms that just sort of cover the whole bush, and they grow in this big kind of wild circular shape. Well, my husband was trying to do some pruning when we first bought the house, so he pruned it back. And I'm not sure if that's what's made it turn into just this little puny plant, or if it's the fact that we now have a much more shaded front garden than we used to because the trees have just gotten bigger. So anyway, I would like to dig this one out this spring, and I'll show you what I think I want to put there instead. Partly because even when it is growing well and it's a fuller bush, it kind of cuts into this walkway, and those spiky, branches were always kind of poking at you, so I'd rather not have that. Then I do need to do some pruning on the boxwoods and take those little wild ones off the top a little bit. Then I believe, it's hard to see, but right in here, see those spent blooms? I believe this is a limelight hydrangea, and so let's go ahead and take a closer look. I think the buds are starting, yes, it's starting to get buds, so that means I can go in here and prune it back. I've never pruned it, and now that I know what it is, I'm pretty sure that I can definitely prune it because it blooms on new wood, so it's going to bloom on the growth from this year. And I think it likes more sun, which is why it's kind of gotten this like wild shape where the left half is kind of empty and it just keeps growing more and more to the right, which is where the sun comes through. And then all of these grasses here and spent plants, I'd like to trim and clean all those up, because as you can see, I think these are irises that are coming up, so I need to get those available. Then we come over, we have a bed here. So last year I did a potted arrangement here, which worked pretty well. I don't have any watering system set up, so that's my downfall, is if I don't remember to water, then stuff up here gets kind of rough looking. Yeah. One thing I did last year, which I want to do more of this year, is over here. So we have a little fish pond there that needs to be cleaned up. This has gotten way too big. It's hard to walk through there. That's something I'll have to figure out. This whole flower bed and water fountain has lots of work I need to do in here, but there are some huge hostas that grow along this edge, and what I've run into is they get too much sun now, because there was a tree growing when we bought the house and we took that tree down. So since they get too much sun, last year I took a couple from the back and divided those and planted planted the half of them like up here along this edge. Well, these two right here by the fence actually still get too much sun, so I need to probably move, and I don't know if they're starting to come up yet. I think there was one here, so that one I need to move, and then the one that was up here did a little bit better because it stays just a little more shaded. So this is the west side of the house, and it gets a lot of western sun in the evening, which is, I think, harsher than the morning sun. Anyway, so this bed here, what I'd like to do is maybe plant some more hostas along this front edge, because this does get mostly shaded from these beautiful hydrangeas here. So these are the ones that just stay white. I don't remember the name of them, but I think I did figure out which one they were. I just didn't write it down. And then this one right here is the one I was talking about that finally I got one bloom on it last year. So, and I think this one blooms on new wood as well, from what I've been able to determine. So I think I could prune it back a little bit, and then obviously do some fertilizing. We need to get some mulch in here, but that may have to wait. And then up here in the front, again, I just kind of need to clean some dead stuff up. I'm excited because my peonies are starting to come up there, but I think, again, they don't get as much sun as they like now, so I might end up moving those. And then right here, I've already collected a big pile of sticks from our beautiful old maple, which has just dropped those over the winter as we've had snow and wind and whatnot. So I need to clean that up, and then I might do some cleaning up of the dead stuff that's back along here. And here we are back to Adelina. Yes?
I'm making a birdhouse over here.
A birdhouse? Cool.
Opening right here.
That looks really cozy for them. I like how you use the plants you're finding in the front garden or yard here. Okay. Yeah. Good morning. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap up this first video or episode here. So I did a lot that first day. Yesterday, it was really nice to finally get just some general cleanup done and get that hydrangea, that limelight hydrangea trimmed. And I'm hoping that with the fertilizer, it'll really do a nice job of just flowering and making a nice, you know, shrub instead of this crazy tree that's growing wonky and all on one side and not on the other. So we shall see. I'll keep you updated on that. And otherwise, like I mentioned, this has just been really nice to finally get out here and do something and not feel so overwhelmed by everything that's going on out here. I would love to see it really do well this year, and I'm hoping that I can keep just doing little bits at a time, you know, the old Fly Lady way, 15 minutes at a time, and keep up with our beautiful landscaping and hopefully make it even better. So look for stage 2, the next video in this little series, where I'm gonna keep working on the front yard. I still need to clean up around the ponds. And then, like I mentioned, I have the Concord grapevine that's growing over the entrance arbor, and I need to get that pruned back for the spring. Again, I've looked up a little bit about how to take care of those, and I need to refresh myself because I know there's a certain amount you're supposed to trim them back. So I will look into that, and I will see you in that next video for a little more work out here on the front yard, or the front garden, if we want to sound a little fancier. So thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button down below, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.